they make this jump, and they don't necessarily want to be out. Not that he doesn't, but they don't necessarily just want to be out there 100 plays if they're not ready for all the situations and all the circumstances. And so he understands that. The next step for him is just to continue getting better, continue to come to work every day with the approach that he's been coming with thus far, and just keep going in that direction.
You've some of your wide receivers have had some drops. It sounds like they would take back if they could. How do you fix that in practice, or having them
look like that, just like that? And like you said, it depends. Most of the drops have been 50-50 balls where there's been some distraction, and so I'm going to do some drills that involve every one of those scenarios, and it's up to the kid to just have the technique we preach in terms of taking a picture of the ball, having photo. Look, see, get that on camera. And me emphasizing it. It's on me. Me emphasizing it, and them carrying it to the field. So we'll get that fixed.
How have you seen Stanley kind of grow from that Ohio State game last year? Because I remember we talked last year, and you said how that was one of the first times you'd seen Stanley kind of rattled by the moment of that stage, and he kind of let some balls go that maybe should have been caught that night.
He's grown. Guys get older. They get to a new point in their career. He's done that. So he's owned that game and basically that time of his career last year, and so he understands there's a step up that takes place, and he's been thinking that way and moving in that direction since the end of the season. So that's where he's at with that, and he's worried about this week.
You guys talk about that game at all anymore from last year, or something to kind of move on from?
No, we don't talk about it anymore. We talked about it quite a bit when it happened, and not necessarily just that particular team, but just like you said, those type of plays that he has the ability to make, and you always want to make every play that you have the ability to make, regardless of who it's against. So that's more of what we discuss in terms of that.
What's the key as a coach after a tough loss when you get back out here today to get through to your guys?
It just depends. We talked about moving forward. Obviously, that's the cliche answer, but that's basically the truth. You just move forward because you learn from what happened and try to build on the learn from the mistakes, try to build on what you did right, and then start focusing on how you can beat your next opponent. Because even if you just totally dive in and dwell on the last week's game, some of that stuff may not even apply for the week coming up. And so you try to bury it and get it fixed as soon as possible and move on.
Sorry if you've already been asked this, but what was the reaction from the other guys in the wide receiver room when they saw Tyjon block on Stan's touchdown?
We were all excited because like I said, he's a young guy. He's been thrust into this role. He didn't play at all almost as a senior. It's Big Ten. It's major college football. So the physicality part of it, he wasn't used to, and so him making that block and him even deciding to try to make it. He could have kind of just ran the guy off or whatever and kind of just shoved him, but he took it upon himself to make a block that was going to impact the play, and so we were excited. We all were excited for that.
Do you see Tanner be a little more comfortable out there, and maybe what role have the wide receivers play in helping him kind of settle into the next couple of games?
He seems to be getting more comfortable. I would assume that's what's happening. All we can do is make all the plays we can. Catch every ball, run the route exactly the way that it's designed to be ran, and just do our job the best we can 100% to make his job easy.
How much did Wisconsin drop, 7 or 8 in that game? Were they dropping a lot of guys on a lot of those plays on Saturday night?
They dropped some zones, but they played some man too. They mix it up pretty good. But yeah, they went from zone to man.
They're playing some one high.
They're playing some one high. They played some. It was circumstantial, in terms of down the distance and whatnot. But they mix it up pretty good.